Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Ugo Aronu. The founder and the CEO of Zen Finance. Yeah, so I'm going to be having this live session to talk you through the pre-launch program, the upcoming TGE that's going to be happening on the 22nd. Yeah, so a little bit about myself. My background is in engineering. I've been building on the blockchain for over 4 years now. Actually, I got in at the end of 2016 and the beginning of 2017, during the ICO boom and all that. Yeah, it's been interesting. We have worked on financial applications, games on the blockchain, and I started building on the Ethereum blockchain, well, about the same time. But first, I started working on like my own Bitcoin wallet. After building my own Bitcoin wallet, I added Ethereum. I was really fascinated by blockchain.info at the time. Now it's blockchain.com. How their wallet system works was really interesting. So I wanted to create something out like that for myself. So that was the first thing I worked on at the time. After building the Bitcoin wallet from ground up, because I wanted to know how all these things worked under the hood. After working on the Bitcoin wallet, I had a form of how would I call it, like a session with a lot of developers in the southeastern part of Nigeria. Actually, that was like the first session with engineers, talking to them about the blockchain and everything. It was really interesting at the time. Most of them didn't really know what the whole thing was all about. It was something that we wanted to, as much as possible, try to explain to people how it was going to, how crypto was working, how the whole blockchain thing worked. It was really, really interesting at the time. People were fascinated and also they were confused, at the time. And we were based in Nigeria, so it was something that was still new to a lot of people. But after doing the demonstration at the meetup, it was very, very interesting. People really loved the idea of, actually doing a test transaction on the blockchain and everything. It was really cool because we were running on a test net. So that's how the whole journey, the whole crypto journey started. And yeah, over time, we've been working on so many things. I've been also working with different tech companies here in Nigeria, helping them integrate their crypto payment gateway. Some of them plugged into my crypto wallet, and it's been really interesting. So we started working on Zen Finance last year, and the reason we started working on Zen Finance really was to try as much as possible to help cooperatives, to help credit unions, to be able to earn interest in stable currencies. And we're focusing on the credit unions and cooperatives and individuals that live in unstable economies where people have they're financially underserved. Most of these economies face steady devaluations of their currency, and a typical example is Nigeria, right? I've experienced this in the past 5 years where we face multiple devaluations, and it's not been funny at all. People with savings actually lose when they've saved money over time. They end up realizing that their savings are actually worth less. So we actually sought out a way to solve that problem. And we started looking into the decentralized financial space and realizing that we can actually, create a bridge between the non-crypto savvy people and, the international crypto money market, right? And by creating that bridge, we are actually removing all forms of, middlemen, like traditional financial institutions like banks, or loan houses. Most of these existing financial institutions that actually prevent people from being able to earn as much interest as they can. And of course, all these traditional financial institutions operate with the fiat currency. So we're able to think about this system, work on the design, and really it's been a remarkable journey. Building out a solution that really is novel, something that people here in Africa, especially, they've not come in contact or used before, but with the sole aim of solving their problem. and it was a very, very interesting journey building the solution, and we're really happy that we've been able to launch, the solution on the mainnet. We have a beta version running on the Binance Smart Chain now, and that's the whole essence of the pre-launch program, where we are giving people a reward of 100,000 Zen tokens to be able to participate in the mainnet, to be able to use it, learn how it works, and teach others, really. Because what we're doing is beyond, because our main focus at Zen Finance really is on people who are living in these unstable economies, people who have, you know, steady devaluations in their local currencies, people who don't really have, their currencies are not stable at all. So for us, it's more than just, well, a regular crypto project that most people are used to, right? We're really creating something that helps real people. We're creating something that works. We're creating something that people will get a lot of value out of over time. And this is very, very important. Even looking at the major part of our target audience, they are based in Africa, right? We are targeting other regions of the world. There isn't any restrictions, right? But the primary audience where we built the solution, and the reason we actually built this solution for, they are based in Africa. So we have over 1.3 billion people here who were given access to decentralized finance, and this is huge, right? This is what the crypto space, this is what the DeFi space has been looking for. Being able to grow that the decentralized finance space, bring a lot of people on board and give them value, right? And this is also going to drive adoption of cryptocurrency and adoption of decentralized finance globally. So we're really excited about this, and that's why we created this pre-launch program to incentivize people to use the platform, teach people how the platform works, and even find bugs. We're happy that we've been able to complete our audit. It was done by the best in business, CETIC, and it's been really interesting. Seeing the fact that we were able to get the security audits checked, and we now deployed the application, allowing people to actually check more and give us feedback. One thing I've learned in my years of developing software, is that, it's almost impossible for a couple of people to find errors in the entire code base. Actually, initially, they might not find errors, but over time, you might start seeing logical errors that might even might be as a result of increased usage. So, but we're happy we've done the first part. Even after the audit, the engineering team, we keep working on it, we keep improving the system, we keep making sure, that it's error-free. And we've actually, as of today, we actually opened up our GitHub repository, and some of the repositories are already open. The existing ones that are live now, people can go there, check out the code, and play around with it. It's really interesting. So we are also expecting feedback from people on bugs. Some people have even found like some bugs on the user interface and everything. And it's been really interesting, interacting with all the people who have found those bugs. And of course, they are also going to be rewarded with part of the bounty, So we encourage more people to look at this. And that's the main aim of the reward program, is to be able to get a lot of people on board, get a lot of people into our protocol, get a lot of people to use it while we now build and improve the protocol. So one very interesting thing we're doing is we've realized that in the crypto space, most decentralized applications are quite difficult to use, especially by people who do not understand how crypto works. And those are our target audience. So what we're doing is we're actually building out an abstraction, we're building out an SDK, more like a widget, right? That enables these credit unions or individuals or software developers are not blockchain developers, people that don't really understand how the blockchain works. They can easily take these SDKs and integrate it into their mobile apps or into their web applications, and it works out of the box. All the complexities of, let's say, MetaMask, transaction hash, having to understand all those things, they will not need that. It creates a very seamless experience, taking them, from their fiat currency to the crypto space and enabling them stake or save on our platform. So this is something that we're doing and that we're really excited about, where we know that in the crypto space, there are a handful of people who move between multiple projects. But we are now doing something different. We are bringing people who have no idea what crypto is all about. We're bringing them into the crypto space, and we are offering them real value. So it's not about maybe hype or speculation. Our project is way beyond that. We are different. We always want to make sure that our users understand the real value that we're giving them, and this real value actually comes from real people, people who have real problems, and solving that problem creates real value. And that is what we are all after. We're also integrating decentralized insurance, just like the regular individuals have access to insurance. We're also integrating decentralized insurance to be able to enable people have access to security of their digital assets, right? So their assets can be protected. They can make sure that even if there are future smart contract bugs or hacks, that as much as possible, they have their assets or savings secure. So this is one major thing that we're doing. We're actually making sure that regardless of whatever happens, because we're dealing with real people here, we're not just dealing with people who, are checking current prices of tokens. No, we want to offer real value, and that is why we're also creating partnerships that will help these people. We are not interested in just announcing, meaningless partnerships. What we're interested in doing is making sure that whatever partnership we announce has a real world use case. I'm also very excited that we've actually partnered with a couple of credit unions already. Those are real people who are very excited to be on our platform. And some of the announcements are already out. You can check out our Medium post to see some of the announcements. And we have more credit unions, more cooperatives, even communicating with us, some from the US, some from different parts of Africa. And we really can't wait to bring all of them on board and give them access to the DeFi space. So I'll be entertaining questions, from different communities, also from the live stream, I think on YouTube and on Twitter, and also from our Telegram community. Yeah, so if we have any questions, please shoot them at me. At some point, I'll also be showing the pre-launch, our protocol and how it works. And secondly, yeah, one of the things I wanted to also mention was the TGE. So we're going to have our token generation event on Balancer, and we're really excited about this. We've been operational since last year, and we're super excited to have our token launch. And we're actually welcoming as many people as possible to be able to, go on Balancer, because we've gotten so many requests. I mean, it's very difficult to even check our community anymore. There were so many requests on people looking at buying the tokens. So there's an opportunity now, and we really need to say like a very big thank you to our private investors who were able to help us, generate funds to be able to build out the solution and to be able to get the word out there. It's been so much help from the different investors and their communities. And yeah, we're really excited about what the future holds. So I really like to entertain any questions at all that people have. Yeah, thank you. Okay, I'm seeing some. Okay, I'm seeing a couple of questions from Twitter. Let me pull this up. I'm seeing a couple of questions from Twitter. Yeah, it says, when will you publish? Okay, from Dogan, when will you publish the contract address for Zen tokens? Okay, yeah. So we're actually going to make that available before our TGE. It's going to be on the website. TGE is on Monday, so we should be looking at the day before TGE or a couple of hours before TGE. The Zen token contract will be available on our website. So just make sure you visit the website, which is Xend Finance, to make sure that you have access to the contract, to the smart contract. And one thing I'd like to mention is a lot of people have always try to, people have created fake smart contract addresses, and they've been trying to scam a lot of people. It's always very important to check the main website, for the Zen token contract. And so far, we've not published it. No sale has occurred. So we really need to encourage everybody to be very careful and not have, not get scammed. Yeah. So that's the first one. The second one is, how much is the Zen token? Are you planning to continue the Zen Finance project with new partnerships in the future? Okay, yes. We have a post on the starting price on the Balancer LPP. Excuse me. So we have a post. The starting price is 30 cents per token. And yeah, are you planning to continue the Zen Finance project with new partnerships? Yes. Of course, what we're doing is we're trying as much as possible to make sure that we have enough partners. We're not just building meaningless partnerships, right? Like I said before, we're trying to make sure that we have partners that will offer real value to our target audience and to our community. So we are going to be having more partnerships, more real world partnerships, right? With especially credit unions or projects that manage credit unions or lending protocols that can help add to our list or aggregate of existing DeFi lending protocols to be able to offer a very high yield to our users. Yeah, so these are the kind of partnerships we'll be having. Says the third one, says, wow, there are a lot of questions. Says, what money laundering resistant security protocols have you used on your platform? Does this model have a warning mechanism for any strange operations that are being performed? So when it comes to decentralized finance, and this is why it's decentralized finance, right? Like I mentioned, our code is already published. It's open. It's public on GitHub. You can visit Zen Finance on GitHub. You can see the code there. So because it's a smart contract, right, it can be accessed by anybody, anywhere in the world. What we've been able to achieve with our smart contracts is to ensure that the operations that we've described that we are performing, that the smart contract is doing exactly that. And we're protecting our users against things like hacks, or maybe maybe when you have keys just disappear, and people's funds are locked. So these are basic things that we're protecting our users from. From the smart contract level, at that level, everybody has access, and people can interact with the smart contract any way they wish. And this is why we have decentralized finance. We as a company, and we are building a decentralized autonomous organization here, which basically means that the community, that's why we have one of our token use cases is that we have a governance token. People are able to propose votes, cast votes, and depending on changes the majority of the votes have pushed for, those changes will be implemented in code and deployed. Right. So one of the things we're doing here is trying as much as possible to make this open and available to the entire DeFi ecosystem. People can use it as they want. One very wonderful thing about DeFi is it's more like building blocks. Most DeFi projects are built on other DeFi projects, and that's the beautiful thing about decentralized finance and the whole decentralized ecosystem, because things are open source and you can always plug in multiple smart contracts. They are in multiple layers, and it's just a very beautiful thing to look at. Yeah, so we don't protect at the smart contract level. Nobody's protecting against money laundering, because it's open for everybody to access. There's a question that says, who wants to do Zen for the long term? I don't really understand. Which I don't really understand this question. It's not very clear. Okay. Question 5, is your project completely decentralized? I saw a lot of projects that claim that they are completely decentralized, but are doing their job in a centralized club. How can we be sure that you are truly decentralized? Yeah, so I think the only way to really know that we are truly decentralized is one, checking out our project code base on GitHub. You can see everything is open. There are no backdoors, there are no hidden fees or anything. And we are also governed by the community. So once the governance contracts are deployed and people are able to propose votes, you will be able to see the community making decisions, right? We are not making all the decisions. So it's not a centralized play. But of course, as the team or the project generates revenue, right? It generates revenue that goes to treasury, used for community development, used for pushing the project further and all that. But yeah, when it comes to decision making and everything, it's actually open to the community. As that's even one of the reasons why we're having our TGE, because of course we have people from the community who are making very good, giving objective reasons, okay, and very clear reasons why a token generation event should happen. And of course, the team put all those things into consideration, and we're working closely with them, making sure that the voice of the community is heard and things are being implemented. Because at the end of the day, one thing I believe is, especially in the crypto space, is the community that drives the project. The team can do a lot, but then eventually the community just puts everything into autopilot, and things just begin to move, and that's the most exciting part of everything. So yeah, if we are not a decentralized project, that means the community will not have a say and they will not be able to help. It says, why are you having a public sale on Balancer? Fees are ridiculous, so that small value investors have no chance to join this sale. So that's not, so the thing with, yeah, we know on Ethereum blockchain that there are so many fees, that the fees are very high, and at times they are very high, and depending on the number of people in the network, depending on the operations going on in the network at a certain time. So one of the things we've done here is to ensure that people have equal opportunity. That's the essence of having this on Balancer. It's centralized, and is an automatic market maker, and it enables people to really get into the market and determine the price of the token in the market. It's something that is really good for the community. It's very important, and it enables people to have access to these tokens without really the tokens being affected by whales or bots and everything doing a lot of front running. So it's really important that we have this on Balancer. Yes, there is a slight downside when it comes to gas fees, but you know that you're just paying a single fee for a single transaction. If you realize, we launched our the first version of our mainnet on the Binance Smart Chain just because you're going to be having multiple transactions. Very low income people are going to be using our protocol, and we don't need fees to be a problem. And now it's already on the Binance Smart Chain. The interesting part of this whole thing is that it was initially built on Ethereum blockchain, right? But then we now built on the Binance Smart Chain, putting the audience we are really targeting into consideration. Like I mentioned, the people really come first for us. What value are we trying to give them? And you realize that someone who has, let's say, $100 to save, right, coming to pay a transaction fee of about $50 or $100, it doesn't make any sense. But for the token generation event, it's a different ball game altogether. You're just making one single transaction, right? So, and it's not at every single point that the fees are outrageous, especially for Balancer. You can see fees within the range of about, let's say, $50 to $100 thereabout. Okay, so these are things we put into consideration. And Balancer pool the LBP is something that is really brilliant with token distribution and creation of the liquidity. So it's really important that our protocol and our project went on Balancer, and that's the main reason why we're there. And of course, the fees will not be a major challenge for people to get on board. Can you tell us about your listing plans, especially the ones involving major exchanges, centralized exchanges, decentralized exchanges? Are we to look forward to further partnerships? Oh, yes. So once we're done with Balancer, immediately we're moving to Uniswap. We're already in talks with major exchanges. And yes, more information about decentralized exchanges will be coming out really soon. And it's really exciting, that we actually have this on Balancer, because once the Balancer sale is over, part of the tokens remaining will be used to provide liquidity to the decentralized exchanges, and the centralized exchanges are going to be coming on board. So this is very important, and I really can't, stress enough the importance of having the sale on Balancer and the value it's actually going to give us post TGE. Okay, let me take from, there are so many from YouTube. Let me check this out. Will winners be chosen randomly, or will it depend on number of transactions made? Okay, I think this question is from is for the pre-launch program. So the parameters for us to select winners for the pre-launch program, there are multiple parameters, right? Random, taking people at random is one of them. 2, we're also considering how many transactions you've made. 3, we're also considering the amount of money that has been saved on the platform. Okay, so these are multiple parameters we're using to consider who will win, the people who are going to win the rewards. We're actually going to be launching another set of parameters by next week. We're going to have a leaderboard, so people can also, be a part of, compete in that regard, and also see themselves on the leaderboard. But so, and this is going to be a continuous process, right? Like this isn't just because we want people to win tokens. No, we want people to be able to see how our protocol works. We want people to be able to enjoy the value that DeFi has to offer. So this is going to be a continuous thing where people, regularly save. We encourage them to save. We encourage them to invite people to save with them in a group. We encourage them to do contributions with what is called Isusu, right? So when they are able to do all these things, they get rewards over time. So yes, these are the different parameters we'll use. You can take a look at the Medium post to get more information. More questions from YouTube. How many people do saving in your country, and what is the amount of saving? And how will Xend official team promote your product and service? Thank you. Wow. When it comes to savings, right, in Nigeria, it's something that is really huge. I might not be able to get the exact number, but I can tell you, because most people that perform savings in the manner that we are trying, those people that perform savings that we're trying to help, most of them are in informal settings. So what usually happens, most of their savings are not really accounted for. But from one of the posts that I think I read, about a couple of months back, in a month, you can have people save more than $300 million, right? In a single month. And this is just from one country. I think that post that came from Kenya, not from Nigeria, right? And Nigeria is way bigger than Kenya, especially when it comes to population. We have more people in Nigeria, and there is the economy here is, we have a huge economy, but it fluctuates now and then. So one of the things we're trying to do is we're trying to pull people who are even who are in the informal space, and also people who are also in the formal space for savings. We're putting them into Zen Finance. And how we're going to be doing that is if you've been following us, you realize that we have an ambassador program that we launched. Actually, applications are closed now, so we're not taking any more applications for the ambassador program. But then we have an ambassador program that we launched. In less than 2 weeks, I think we had over 300 people who have applied from different parts of the world. Currently, we're interviewing them, and how the purpose of the ambassadors is to be able to educate people on how the Zen protocol works, educate people on the need of saving with stable coins, on the interest they can earn, on the barriers that we're completely removing, the problems they were facing before, how we're solving these problems, with decentralized finance. And one of the things we try to do, because we know the type of people we're talking to, that's the people in the informal space or people who are not crypto savvy. We don't go to approach them by telling them about how fast Binance Smart Chain is, about the beauty of cryptocurrency, or sending transaction hash, or talking about chain finality or block confirmations in less than 3 seconds. I mean, that's just a total waste of time. When we are talking to these people that are not crypto savvy, we speak to them in simple terms that they are already used to. So we don't go to change what they are used to. We just go to give them a different way of accessing the international money market, or a way of accessing the international money market at any very high yields, also by ensuring that their capitals or their savings are secure and protected. So these are the trainings that we're going to be giving to the ambassadors, being able to get a lot of people on board. We also have people who are going to be on the streets, right, working and acquiring a lot of people, bringing them to the platform. Very interesting. One very interesting part of this whole thing is that, in fact, our first investor, Binance, we're already working together with Binance on this. Currently, there is a sort of talk, educating people about blockchain, about decentralized finance, actually. And I'm going to be speaking, also helping the applicants or the attendees, helping them actually come on board, learn how some of the things on the DeFi space works, actually showing them some code, and also educating them on how to use our protocol, which is built on the Binance Smart Chain. And we have a lot of support from Binance to be able to get to people in different parts of Africa, right? Binance has major support for people in different parts of Africa, and we are at the forefront of that because we are the fastest DeFi project. We're actually the first DeFi project from Africa. We're the fastest growing DeFi project from Africa, and Binance has also recognized that. We are working very closely with them to be able to get people from Africa on board. There's a lot of wealth, there's a lot of resources in Africa, and bringing it onto DeFi is going to be a major win for us. And yeah, let me check out more questions. It says, when launching on Uniswap, is there some kind of bug protection in place? So Uniswap is a DEX, right? It's a decentralized exchange. And the beauty of decentralized exchange is that people can get into the exchange, you can use bots. Even on centralized exchanges, you can build bots, when you give your bot access to your API keys, it can trade for you. So there are no ways you can't block bots actually, because they help with a lot of things, like people that do arbitrage and all that, yeah. So you don't stop bots. We're not stopping bots on Uniswap, unless maybe Uniswap has a way, but it's already a centralized exchange. Yeah, so it said the token sale is on ETH and the token is on BSC. Is there a token bridge to have? Oh, beautiful. This is a great question. So yeah, it says the token sale is on Ethereum blockchain and token is on Binance Smart Chain. Is there a token bridge to have tokens on Ethereum move to BSC? Yes. So we're actually working on a bridge. So we have our protocol on Ethereum blockchain. We have our protocol on Binance Smart Chain. So it's we support multiple blockchains, And yes, there's a bridge that we're working on actually to be able to help move the tokens between, of course, BP20 and ERC20, ERC20 on Ethereum and BP20 on Binance Smart Chain. Yeah, so it's really interesting. Yeah, we're actually doing that. So that's a great question. Please tell me if there will be an opportunity for community to vote. Yes, there's an. You said, please tell me if there will be an opportunity for the community to vote for a decision using the Zen token. Oh yeah, there's an opportunity for the community to vote. Yeah, so that's why we have governance, and then we're going to be implementing the governance contracts. So people, and that's going to be in Q2. So people can actually start voting, and proposing votes. If there are some parameters that they feel that should be changed, yeah, all those things we put into place. More questions. Okay, I think I can go back to someone said so we usually get this when Binance question or not. It's too it says, will you be considering an insurance? Oh, beautiful question. Yeah, so we're working on insurance. We have announcements going out very soon. So we are working on insurance because, like I mentioned, the people we're targeting here are not just crypto savvy people. They are people who don't really understand crypto, who are not crypto savvy. So in traditional finance, some of them are used to insurance, but most of them actually don't even get their savings insured, right? So, and it's something that it's a problem. But bringing them to DeFi, we have a standard, and we're going to be integrating insurance. We have different partnerships coming up on insurance. That's one of our major plays because there isn't any way, to be honest, where how you can't really pitch or speak to credit unions or cooperatives without having a way of really protecting their assets, because most of them are not so tech savvy, right? So telling them about your smart contract being open source and being audited might not really sell, So you really need to give them something that, okay, they know that this is a way of protecting their assets. Yes. So yeah, we're doing that. But this question was from YouTube. Someone says, this is really a game changer for savings. Daniel, oh, thank you very much. I have someone says, how does Zen Finance earn profit to maintain its system running? Yeah, so there are different revenue generation models, and there are some we're actually still working on. We have one already where we take just very small commissions on interest earned from different people when they save, when they're about to withdraw. We take a small amount of money as commission on the interest. So the capital is actually still there. Nothing is happening to the capital. The capital is there, but the interest, there's a small percentage taken on that. And those are parameters that are actually governable over time. So that's how we make some money to keep the project or to keep the team, contributing to the project. Yeah. And we're actually working on more revenue generation models. And over time, we're going to be improving on our token utility. We're going to be releasing articles or documents showing multiple use cases of the Zen tokens and how we generate revenue. So really encourage everybody to stay online and be in the community and know what's going on. Yeah. Let me try and see if I have more questions. Okay. Yeah, so I think I'll now take a few minutes. We've been here for about 40 minutes. Yeah, so I'll take a few minutes to just run through the Zen Finance protocol. Just let people know what we're doing. For people who don't really understand how it works, I'll show you how it works here. Give me a second. Let me try and share my screen. Okay. Okay. I believe you can see my screen. Okay, yeah, I think you can see my screen. Preferably, I prefer to work on the dark, so you can actually switch the theme here. So you can work on dark mode or on light mode, depending on what you prefer. Yeah, I prefer to work on dark mode. So you need to make sure you have your you need to make sure you have MetaMask connected. So my MetaMask is connected, and yeah, head over. I'll connect my wallet. Yeah, so I've connected my wallet. You can see this is your dashboard showing you okay, yeah, my balances are updating. So this is your dashboard showing you how much you have in your portfolio. The portfolio is the entire amount you have locked in the system plus your interest. So you have different saving strategies. You have the flexible savings, you have the fixed savings, you have Isusu, which is like contribution, you have your cooperatives, right? So what we have, the different saving strategies here are really interesting in the sense that most of them, like the Isusu and cooperative, were really designed based on existing saving strategies implemented or done by different cooperatives or credit unions in Africa, especially Isusu. So the personal saving strategy is just for an individual to be able to save. If you don't want to save as a group, you can come here, save as an individual, and earn your interest alone. So this protocol is actually built on the Binance. So fees are actually very low. Yeah. So we want to encourage people. There's a major problem in the space of people complaining about fees. So we were very, very particular about making fees extremely low. And yeah, let me perform a simple savings operation. So we have your flexible savings, we have the fixed savings. So basically, what the fixed savings is enables you to lock in your funds for a longer period of time and you earn interest. So one very interesting thing I would like to mention is you can see these tiny boxes here. So there are very tiny boxes next to this on the menu item. One shows lock your funds for 3 months. Isusu says lock your funds for 1 month and earn Zen tokens. So one of the things we've done in a way to incentivize people is we created a system that rewards people on its own, right? So when you perform fixed savings, Isusu or cooperative savings, you have an opportunity to lock your funds for a period of time. And based on our reward configurations, if you lock your funds at least a month and above, when you're about to withdraw the funds, you have access to, you earn Zen tokens. So when you're withdrawing the funds, you're actually earning Zen tokens. Zen tokens are being sent to you from the smart contract. So details of that can be found on the light paper and also the smart contract implementations on the rewardconfig.sol file. So this is the fixed savings, of the personal fixed savings. We have them Isusu. You can see lots of communities already being created, lots of groups and cycles. Okay, so all of them are here. You can search, you can move through the community, the groups, you can move through the cycles. And it's really, really interesting seeing, people creating a lot of these cycles and inviting their friends to join. And this is the cooperative savings. So the cooperative savings is where you have groups or cycles as well. But the difference between the cooperative savings and the Isusu is that for the cooperative savings, people save their money as a group, and when they are withdrawing, they have equal shares. They withdraw all their the overall money is split exactly based on the total number of people in the cycle or in that group. But the interesting thing about Isusu is that, give me a second, let me go back. The interesting about Isusu is that Isusu is quite different, and I'll try to take my time to explain it because this is a question I've gotten from almost all the AMAs I've attended. The Isusu is very interesting in the sense that how it works is, say for example, you have four people. When those four people come together, they make contributions. Say for example, each person is contributing $10. So when they contribute $10, that means everybody there's $40 in that pool because there are four people. So there is $40 in the pool. Now the traditional Isusu, how it works is $20 in the pool, and they do that contribution every month, $10 every month. At the end of the first month, the whole $40 is paid to one person. At the end of the second month, the overall $40 is paid to another person. So that's how the cycle continues till the cycle is over. I really experienced this because my mom used to do it a lot. In fact, still now she still does it, because we all belong to a cooperative. Now, but there is a major problem with that traditional financial system, that design. Now, the problem with the design is you can have defaulters. So you can have people who receive funds, and then during the next cycle, they don't contribute. And because they don't contribute, it becomes a problem. It means that others cannot receive. It creates problems. Yeah, at times people are, always consistent, but in an event where there's an emergency, people are not consistent. So what we did was we took that design and we recreated it on the blockchain. What we are able to do is to allow people to deposit all their capital in a pool of funds. When they put all their capital in that pool, within a certain cycle, you can set your intervals. I'll demonstrate this now. You can set the intervals at which you want people to receive their payouts. But at each point, instead of them receiving the overall capital, what they now receive is the overall ROI within that time frame, which is really interesting. Because if you were to do a personal savings, right, you just receive ROI for yourself, like as an individual. But imagine if you were to do an Isusu with 10 or 20 people, you will be receiving ROI for 20 people within your own cycle, and that is really, really interesting. So, but your capital is locked. And what it does is, by your capital being locked on the smart contract, what it does is it prevents people from defaulting, right? It prevents people from not being able to invest or contribute in the next cycle. Because for multiple cycles, you don't need to do anything. You don't even have to click on any button. Automatically, interests are being generated with time on the DeFi lending protocols, and then your interest is being accrued and paid to you once it is your own time. Everybody's interest is paid to you. So that's basically how it works. I'll just take a few minutes to I'll do an example of the fixed savings. Say, for example, I'm going to do $10 here. So this is on the Binance Smart Chain. Yeah, so you can see gas fees are really low. You can confirm. Yeah, so my deposits has been successful. Previously, I had about $22, and now I have my savings balance is 32.5. Now, the savings balance in BUSD, if you hover over this, is good to hover. You can see the amount plus the interest you've earned. So this is the amount you save plus the interest, right? As it says here, balance plus interest. So overall, I have about $32 invested, but I've earned, I think, about 0.5 or so over time. So it's very important for us to know that, look, you keep earning, and you can be viewing your interest here every day. You can come and check how much you've earned, what your balance is, how much you invested and how much you've earned. So that's that for the personal. Yeah, for the Isusu, what you're supposed to do is how you start. You have to create a group. If you already have a group, you can now create multiple cycles. So I have groups. I have a group already. So what I now have to now do is, if I want to start a new cycle and I want some of my friends to come and join me, right? what I'll do is I'll create a cycle and then share the link with them to join. An example is this. I'll open up my group. So these are cycles I've created, right? These are cycles I've created. I can now create a new cycle. These are cycles I've created that friends have joined in the past. So I can create a new cycle now. And like I was saying, these are the parameters that actually govern the entire system. So I can say deposit amount. So if I say deposit amount of, say, for example, $10, it means that anybody that wants to join this cycle will earn, will have to deposit $10. Now, the cycle duration, I'll probably make it, let's say, 5 weeks. And why I'm choosing 5 weeks is that I want to be able to earn some Zen tokens, whenever I'm withdrawing, right? Once the reward contract is paying out Zen tokens. So I can now set my start date and the particular start time. Now I set the maximum number of people I want to join. And this is actually an advantage. So because in the regular Isusu system, the traditional financial space, you cannot have so many people join your Isusu. Why? Because it's very laborious. The laborious task to manage all of them. So with the smart contract, it's super easy. The smart contract does the work. You don't have to bother yourself about it. You just set parameters and everything is flying. So I can say maximum of 10 people. I can create the cycle. And everything is already registered on the blockchain. So before you, so the cycle has been created, right? So what I can do with this cycle is I can actually take the cycle and share it with my friends, right? So today is March 19th. So this is the cycle I created. I can open up this cycle. You can say it tells me to join. So I can now join. I can even share the cycle. So it says link copied. You can share with your friends. I'll take this link, share it on our Telegram community for people to come and join. So what I'll do is I'll join the Isusu. Yeah, fees are illegal. Yeah, so I've successfully joined the cycle, right? So the cycle can't start though till I have a minimum of 2 people in that cycle. So when I have, let's say, I'll share this link now and my friends will join. Once my friends join, right, the start time, once I get to that particular start time, I'll see that the start button will now become active and I can now click on start Isusu. Actually, any member of the group can actually come and start the Isusu. Once they click on start, the cycle kicks off and then they begin to earn their interest. Once your payout time is there, once it's up to your payout time, you see your withdraw ROI button. It comes up and you withdraw your ROI. Once everyone has withdrawn their ROIs, everybody can now go and click the withdraw capital button. It's a really interesting thing, So we're really urging and encouraging a lot of people to try it out. And yeah, so for cooperative, it follows the same system. You create your cycle. For you to start, you need to have a group, and your group is like your cooperative name or your credit union name. You create that group, and then you can now create multiple cycles under the group. Yeah, so this is basically, I think I'll stop sharing my screen now. Yeah. So this is basically what we've been able to build, and we're very excited. One of the things we're releasing by next month is our SDK, our software development kit. And this SDK is going to enable developers. We're going to be having hackathons. So that's another way to drive adoption. We're going to be having hackathons with different communities. People will be building on Zen Finance, using our SDK to integrate. People can actually pull the smart contract directly and interact with it. So it's fun and very exciting actually. So we're very happy for the community. We're very happy with the level we've gotten to. I mean, it's been a wild and crazy journey, but it's been very interesting. It's been very interesting. I'm very excited about what the future holds, and the team we're super excited. So I think I'll bring this to an end here. And if you have any questions, if you have any concerns, you just jump into our Telegram group and buzz me. You can buzz me and then let me know if you have complaints. Just buzz me. I'm always there. We have admins there. People will just respond. And yeah, well, let's have a great journey together. Thank you very much.